The FOMO happening with Destined Rivals is off the charts, and there's a few areas that we all need to be looking out for. Destined Rivals obviously being one of the most iconic sets, especially seeing as it was a huge throwback to the Team Rocket era. It's essentially the same level of nostalgia as Pokemon 151, but this time with the Team Rocket coding.
Now, before I get into this video, I've actually got some genuinely exciting news, and I haven't been this excited for a very long time, and I think you're all gonna love this. So this Sunday, February 8th at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'm going live on Whatnot, and I'm gonna be doing huge giveaways. But here's the thing, this stream is different, because if you buy anything during the live, whether it's a single, a pack, anything at all, you can enter the buyers only giveaway at the end. And I'll be giving away a brand new Nintendo Switch 2, Legends ZA for the Switch 2, and hold on, a Switch 2 Pro controller as well to add the cherry on top. Now, Whatnot has sponsored this video and this giveaway for their Deal Dash event, and I'm gonna explain how you can earn a $15 credit to use in the stream a bit later on in this video.
All right, dude. Let's just look at this. Look at that graph right there. What we are seeing currently with Destined Rivals booster boxes. Dude, it's just like, look at that. We're selling for $386. Early January, $393, which is expensive for a booster box. No one's acting like that's cheap. We all can see that that's expensive, but look at that. Just recently, look what happened right now, selling for $564. That's a huge increase, man. And that's a very quick increase. And if you are new to Pokemon, or if you've never seen how investing in sealed works, when these massive booms happen, with sealed product, it is so rare for it to start trickling down without a reprint. It has happened, but man, is it rare. So this is like setting a new level. Unless we get massive Destined Rivals reprints right now, you know, will that come down? Probably not. And that's just me saying that when I look at previous examples. All I'm doing, and all we can do right now, right, is we can look at previous examples of how cards traveled. We can look at previous examples of booster boxes, and we can apply the same knowledge to today. I think in my history, I've seen like 4 sealed products ever go down in price without a reprint. Chilling Rain was one of them, and that happened recently. I think Crown Zenith ETBs dipped a little bit, and that's pretty much all I know from the top of my head without a reprint. Otherwise, they just slowly rise. So this, I wouldn't say this is problematic. I don't want to use the word problematic, but it is something that we need to monitor right now if there isn't a massive reprint, because $564 for a booster box is insanity, man. That's so expensive. But then again, it's nostalgia bait, right? I mean, you're dealing with a Team Rocket throwback set. Pokemon 151 was always going to be successful, and Destined Rivals was always going to be successful. And I'm not just saying that now in hindsight. I was saying that before it released, and a lot of people already knew that, because of course it was a Team Rocket throwback set. Any time that you have such strong nostalgia like Team Rocket, right? That's going to pull in fans. You're going to pull in the masses. It's too nostalgic. I mean, look at the Lego Charizard. What happened with that? The 3-starter trio. Soon as you have that Generation 1 throwback, soon as you trickle to that kind of market, as soon as you market to that Generation 1 demographic who have those massive nostalgic ties, it's kind of a recipe for success. It's actually a recipe of disaster for all of us who want to buy the product. But in terms of if you're thinking about investing in these or buying these, it's a crazy recipe for success. Anything to do with Generation 1, anything to do with the Kanto region, you can bet your bottom dollar that people are going to want it in the future. It's just such a natural thing for Pokemon nostalgia at the moment. And is that going to change? At this stage, it looks pretty like set in and baked into the community of how it kind of reacts. Anything with Generation 1 gets these price points. I mean, even look at the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Has been climbing a little bit from a small dip. It was selling in December for $296 US. Right now selling for $330. So the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box hasn't, grown that much. But it is telling there is rises happening, okay? And that, if we look at Pokemon 151's Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, let me just pull that up. Here you go, I just pulled in the Pokemon 151 Elite Trainer Box, the Pokemon Center version, just for a bit of a comparable. And last year around this time, we were selling for $383. The Destined Rivals one's like around $330 at the moment. So not exactly the same price point, but close enough. But look at that. Throughout that year, Pokemon 151, look how it climbed in price all the way to $963. And there you go, it did drop a little bit. Right now selling for $868. So there you go. There is a little bit of an example of seal product dropping, but would you call that a drop would you really call that even any bit of a dip, considering the growth it had all that like last year? But when you look at it from last year, no man, that really climbed in price. So will Destined Rivals also follow that same trajectory? People who chase the Generation 1 nostalgia are gonna love Pokemon 151, and they're gonna love Destined Rivals as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going live on Whatnot on February 8th at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be giving away packs of Pokemon 151, Prismatic Evolutions, and Phantasmal Flames, along with ending the stream with a buyers only giveaway, which includes a Nintendo Switch 2, Pokemon Legends EA, and a Switch 2 Pro controller. Now, today's video is sponsored by Whatnot. Sunday 8th of February through early hours of Monday 9th Feb will be absolutely huge on Whatnot. I mean, what's even insane, Mr. Beast will also be hosting the biggest stream in Whatnot history right before the Super Bowl kickoff, with over $1 million in giveaways which will be happening. Now, the best part is, if you are a first timer, you can actually get a $15 credit to use on the app. Sign up using my referral link by scanning the QR code, or you can just head to the link in the description. A massive thanks to Whatnot for sponsoring today's video along with this giveaway. Now let's jump back into the video. So there is interesting things happening with the market for Destined Rivals in particular, though one area, and we do have a misalignment, and I don't want to just call it into existence, but I think something's going to change with the singles, because when we look at the singles, a lot of them are at very low points. In fact, a lot of the singles for Destined Rivals, not all of them, but some, are at the lowest point they've ever been in history. But if you've got the sealed product rising like this, it's just, it's right now we've got a misalignment. Just look at it. Team Rocket's Mewtwo was selling in November for $504. Right now selling for $366 US. That is not a cheap card, but there is a misalignment when Destined Rivals booster boxes are selling for $560, and you've got one of the top, actually the top chase card in the set selling for $366, though here is where it gets really wacky. Look at the pull rates for Destined Rivals. If you look right here, I've got the graph from TCG Player. A special illustration rare to pull any SIR is 1 in 94 packs. To pull a specific special illustration rare is 1 in 1,033 packs. So how can the top chase card be nowhere near the point of the booster box? In fact, even if you pulled Team Rocket's Mewtwo, you would lose money. There you go. You've got a misalignment that will be shifting very quickly, and a lot of these Destined Rivals chases will be shifting because of that. Because of that misalignment that we can right now see in the market. And it's a unique time period, but like I said, I just don't feel like that's going to last long. Even Cynthias Garchomp, check this out, selling for $262, right now selling for $200. That's a $60 decrease. If we pull this into the year graph, check that out. The lowest point that this card had was $201 in July. Right now, it's selling for $200. So it's pretty much at that low point once again. And it did have a high in the market for around $320 and around $288. And like I said, even if you did pull, and this is crazy, right? If you pulled Cynthias Garchomp and you pulled the Mewtwo, right now you would be breaking even with Destined Rivals. That doesn't really make a lot of sense right now, does it? You just got to think about that. By the way, if you have been enjoying the video, my name's Phil, and I love making content around Pokemon and Pokemon investing and just generally investing in collectibles. If you do enjoy these videos and these topics, definitely feel free to subscribe. It's always amazing seeing new people on board. The FOMO for Destined Rivals is crazy, man. There's just so much, and like I said, it's that targeted, marketed audience of that Generation 1 nostalgia. As soon as those bananas, and I'm talking about myself here because I'm a Generation 1, like I love it as well. Like I'm that banana, but dude, the bananas in this hobby are out of this world when it comes to Destined Rivals. I don't know what it is about that set. To be honest, I do like Destined Rivals, but I don't actually think I'm even in that camp of this obsession with it like the community's got over this set. Same thing here with the Team Rocket's Nidoking. Was selling for $118 in November. Right now selling for $92. So a bit of a drop there in the last 3 months. Nothing that crazy that you're like, wow. It's still a pretty expensive card, but then again, it's strange that a lot of these cards haven't really moved yet, but the sealed product is. Like, I don't want to call it into existence, but just I've got experience of this because I saw Evolving Skies. This happened early 2023 with Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies just started climbing really like slowly but surely in 2023. By 2024, when Evolving Skies really started climbing up in price, all the singles just followed suit. And it's right now, I'm kind of feeling that it's going to be similar with this, because you can't just have sealed product being that expensive, and a lot of these cards, which are super hard to pull, just be lagging that far behind. That little gap will be closed off if the sealed product continues to rise. Same thing here with the Moltres Special Illustration Rare. It was selling for 138 US, right now selling for $100. This Moltres has a bit of, it's a weird decision by Pokemon because they did release a Moltres Ultra Premium Collection, and a guaranteed promo in the card was this special illustration rare, but the only difference is that this Moltres SIR has a Destined Rivals stamp on it. I always found that a weird decision. I just found that, I wouldn't say lazy, I just found it like, what are you doing? Like, why would you have this awesome Moltres UPC? It's either like do one or the other. Either don't put the Moltres in Destined Rivals as an SIR and reserve it for that Ultra Premium collection. That would have been a really cool SIR that was exclusive to that UPC. But instead, we've got two of them, one with a stamp, one without. And that actually did affect the market. You can see when it kind of came to market, it was selling for 166. And ever since like that stamped promo came around, it never has been able to go back to those heights. And the Team Rocket's Crobat, look at that. It has been dropping in the last 3 months from 99 US, right now selling for $60. That's a big drop, especially when you look at a percentage decrease. That's huge. And like Team Rocket, like that's actually interesting because Crobat is a big fan favorite Pokemon. And we're going to actually see now what's going to happen with the market, because I'm really hoping that more Destined Rivals products come to the market. The only thing is, if you're going to get booster packs and bundles and all that, if you don't get booster boxes, that's also going to be tough, because you got to remember booster boxes in and out of themselves are a collectible. So again, that's also something to consider. People don't want the loose packs that much. People want the booster box, especially if they're into investing in collectibles. And same thing here with the Yanmega Special Illustration Rare. Check this out, man. Selling for $21. I mean, like I showed you with those pull rates, the specific special, if you were trying to get this Yanmega and you were trying to pull it, that's 1 in 1,030 packs or whatever it was. That's hard pull rates, dude. That's really rare. So it's selling for $21, which is, to me, that's a great price for an SIR. Sure, like, there you go. The highest in the market was $40. Right now, it's 50% off. It's your PlayStation Store summer sale, eShop on sale. There you go. Black Friday right there. There you go. Boxing Day sale. Jump in, right? Is that going to stay there? Don't know. The main area we need to focus on right now is, why is this FOMO hitting Destined Rivals, and why now? It is an awkward time period for this crazy FOMO to be coming in, because the market's been quiet. The market hasn't moved. In fact, the market's been like, Pokemon cards have really been dropping, and a lot of cold feet's in Pokemon at the moment. People are going, hey, I want to collect Dragon Ball. One Piece is way better than Pokemon. That's the energy right now in the TCG. So why is Destined Rivals decided just to, hey, we're going to spike right now? It's crazy, right? And a lot of people, is it market manipulation? Is it this? I don't think so, because you have to remember that it is connected to that Generation 1 fandom. And the more you learn about Pokemon, especially with nostalgia and how it works, the more you understand how powerful anything Generation 1 is. If in the Mega Evolution era that we have a Generation 1 throwback, or if we have a Generation 1 throwback in Generation 10 for the new, like a new set that focuses on Generation 1, you have to really look at that, because that's where those massive amounts of fans come in, and they're all ready to throw their money for their Generation 1 nostalgia. It's crazy, right? And people meme it. People call them Gen 1ers. People laugh at it. And it is a little bit laughable as well, because it's like, come on, man. Like, there's so much cooler things than just Generation 1. And it's true. There's so much, like, more awesome Pokemon in a lot of other eras. There's so much more to offer than Generation 1. But when it comes to this, whenever you have anything with Team Rocket, with Pokemon 151, when you've got Nidoking, Moltres, a Mewtwo, all his top chase cards, you're definitely going to get that big fan demand. But Destined Rivals FOMO is reaching new levels, and like, is this going to be like Evolving Skies in 2023? Evolving Skies just started rising like crazy, and it never really returned after that in 2023. At this stage, maybe there's a few more reprints, but who knows? However, I think Ascended Heroes is also a big topic at the moment, especially the price points with that at the moment. Though I do expect card prices to drop heavily, and I explain why in this video on screen here. In this video on screen, I talk about Ascended Heroes hype, and I'll look over the current prices. If you enjoyed this video, click the video appearing on screen. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next video.